Time for more Tavern Talk. The last episode was fairly dramatic, but hopefully things will improve. Archie! Hey, Archie. Hello, brave adventurer. Welcome back to my tavern. Hello, innkeeper. How are you doing? These past few days have been quite eventful. I'm feeling so inspired. My first real adventure was so utterly exciting. I haven't stopped residing in my memories ever since we returned. When I got home, I immediately started writing everything down so I wouldn't forget anything. And it reads just like all those adventuring tales in books from my childhood. Sounds like you had a very good time. It's delightful to see you flourishing. Actually, I've been thinking about switching careers. Oh, how come? All these adventures, don't get me wrong, it's new and exciting. But instead of experiencing them myself, it might be better to tell the tales of those brave heroes and heroines around me. Creating stories is much more enjoyable than facing the dangers of adventuring myself. I'd like to note that others mentioned how much they loved listening to your stories. You're right. I think Theo would enjoy this idea as well. You think so? You seem very entertained on the trip to Diria. Huh, perhaps you might be onto something here. On another note, how about a drink to wind down a little? Sure, why not? Any specific wishes? Surprise me with something that'll keep you focused on writing. Something to ward off distracting thoughts. Nothing easier than that. Whoops. Alright. Defense. Ward off. Let's see. That sounds lovely. Let's go with first snow. So which one did I use for that again? Was that honeyflower? Yeah, I think it was honeyflower. Okay. First snow with honeyflower. No, that's not honeyflower. That is. Nailed it. Sort of. Okay. Extra dexterity. Whew, nailed it. A drink for the upcoming best-selling author. Very sweet of you. Thank you very much. Oh, this tastes absolutely delightful. I can already feel the words aligning, impatiently waiting to be written down. Don't mention it. I'm always happy to help. Speaking of which, have you by any chance heard of Melina, the famous detective? As it happens, I have. You get to know quite a lot of people when you run a tavern, you know. Have you seen her recently? Sadly, not in a while, no. I last saw her at least a week ago, if not 2. How curious that you also know her. Meeting such a well-known detective is a fantastic source of inspiration and exciting stories. I heard she barely survived an arson attack down in Zoford, and even solved the case of the missing familiars. Yes, she solved the case alongside her trusty assistant. Ah, how inspiring. I'd love to tell her tale someday. Maybe I'll combine it with some of the rumors I've heard about this one mysterious place in the southwest of Phesoa. Oh, which one might that be? It's a wizard tower, a magical place full of puzzles, mysteries, and magic. Ooh, I was trying to make a quest at the end of the last episode with rumors about the wizard tower. Maybe this is related? Ooh. I've heard tales of it harboring hundreds of books containing lost and forbidden knowledge. But that's not all. There are treasures of unfathomable value and magical trinkets as well. What an exciting thought for a young detective to stumble upon a place like that. Definitely a story I'd read. Promise to send me a copy, please. Oh, but of course, I'll deliver it to you myself. You know, even if we might be a few years apart, seeing her reminded me of my own childhood. Sure, the circumstances are completely different, but I was never allowed to wander off by myself. But she seemed a little lonely, just like me back then. Always looking for my own adventures. although she found them in the real world while I relied on books. But I'm glad she found an assistant to keep her company. The life of a detective can certainly be a lonely one. And you have Theodore by your side. Do you really think he counts as an assistant? That's for you to decide. He definitely doubles as a friend. But I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but, well, Melly has been missing since the Twilight Flood. No! Tell me you're joking. Sadly not, I'm sorry. Oh no, I hope she's alright. She's probably just investigating the cause of the flood. I'm thinking the same. She might be young, but she's really tough. I doubt even a flood this size would be a challenge for her. Then I'll trust your instincts. Kumo! Kumo, it's great to see you. I've solved it. Solved what? My parent problem. I've solved it. And how did you do that? It's simple. I'm here to ask you to write up and hand out a quest for me. A quest to find them and to kill them. Sorry, did you say kill them? Yes. Why do you want to kill your parents? It's not obvious. Can't say it is. Their death is what set me on the bleak path that is my life. Led me towards my destiny, my purpose. Which would be stealing, revenge, edginess, darkness. Of course. Now that they're back, it's messing up my aesthetic purpose. Right. So I must take destiny back into my own hands. Why not talk this through instead? Talking doesn't solve anything. Might make you feel a little better, and less murderous? No. I must embrace who I am, and for that, it must die. So please, a quest. Have it done. Quickly. As you wish. I'll set it up for you. Thank you. I shall leave you to it. Before you go, have a drink for the road. Maybe one that'll have you talking about something other than killing your parents? Yes. I shouldn't allow them a warning, so I must be deceitful about my feelings. I'll see what I can do for you. Oof. That's something. Oof. Okay. Perfect for avoiding unwanted questions. Honeyflower again? Yeah. Thousand Winds with Honeyflower. It's messing up his aesthetic? His aesthetic being an emo kid without parents? Bro, this isn't the way. Ugh. I'm gonna take a sip of tea. Maybe this will help your heart a little. It feels nice. Really warm, like a hug. Do you need a hug, Kumo? I need to go. Stay safe out there. Sure. And, Kumo? Yes? Have you talked to Fable? Yesterday, yes. They left to find Melly. I see. Good luck with your parents. I don't need luck. I need vengeance. Okay. Does he need help? You want to help them kill their parents? Pardon me? No, of course not. I meant psychological help. They don't look like they're doing too well, if I might say. He's always quite broody and mysterious, but their parents being alive really threw them off track. You wouldn't think that's a bad thing, really. And now they want to kill them just because it doesn't fit the backstory they come up with? This is the possibility for a happy ending to an otherwise dark story. Please don't tell me you're actually going to set up a quest to assassinate them. I am but a mere innkeeper to this tavern. I'm just following Kumo's wishes. I would have expected you to have a little more backbone, or moral standards, so to speak. You were so sure about Melina's well-being, and you even calm me down. I can't believe you'd offer such a violent solution. I tried to stop him. but I don't think I can get them to talk with their parents right now. You heard them, and that's exactly why there's still hope. Wait, I don't think I understand. Kumo won't take on the quest himself, so there'll be someone else that can talk to his parents. That sounds like a really questionable plan, if I may say so. It'll work out, I'm sure of it. Most likely, it won't be a very difficult quest, especially if you know your way with words. Hint, hint. As a nobleman like you would, for example. Oh! Well, I'm still certain this isn't a quest for me, even though I could probably do it. What if this situation actually escalates into violence? I wouldn't know what to do. No pressure, I just wanted to make an offer. Do you want a different quest then? Weren't you listening? I don't think I want to be an adventurer anymore. Hearing Kumo just now amplified my doubts. I never want to have to kill anyone ever again. Being a murderer is not how I envisioned my life to be. Of course not. But I also don't know in what direction my life is headed from now on. My heart is still so full of excitement after my last adventure. This might only be a tale, but there's this place of infinite knowledge. Oh? Are you by any chance talking about the subterranean caves on the plane of Ur? I've read so many stories about them. A hidden yet wondrous place. Though I really doubt a guy immortal like me could even walk there. But I've heard you can get there through the Twilight Chasm. Innkeeper, do you think that's true? That there's a portal to Ur somewhere in the Twilight Chasm? Well, maybe. This world is full of wonders after all. And since the Twilight Realm arose from Ur's dreams, I'd say it isn't completely unlikely. Just thinking about the caves makes my heart beat faster and my fingertips itch. Maybe I should write a little story about them. Time to write down some keywords or I might lose my ideas. You know, I don't think you need Ur to lead you. Your heart already knows what it wants to do. Huh? Do you really think so? Yes, it's quite obvious actually. How about you go write down those keywords now? This might already be an upcoming bestseller. Oh, you really are a sweet talker, aren't you? Thank you for your advice. Goodbye, innkeeper. Until next time, Archie. Ooh. Well, I'm sure this'll be fine. Carolyn! Quest taken. Good evening, Carolyn. Evening. Has boredom already caught up with you again? It's always on my trail. Guessing this quest is still free? Not for much longer, it seems. Haven't had enough of the undead yet. I've got practice with them now. Might as well make some use of it. Fair enough. I thought you'd be looking for Melly instead. Can't say I'm not worried about the little gal. But Fable's already on it. I trust him. And I trust Melly too. Come back, I mean. She promised me we'd see each other again soon. I'm learning to believe in people's words. You should too? I do, but trust is a scary thing. Everything's scary if Fable's to be believed. Might as well pick the fun horrors to commit to. Like the undead. Exactly. I also gotta check up on my cousin. Those undead snails are sounding a lot more concerning right now. At least they're even slower than the regular undead. Very common, thanks. Want to take Archie along again? He might be the calming presence you're seeking. Under no circumstances, no. What if you get bored? He has very good stories to tell. Shut up. How about we talk about how about we talk about what drink you want then? Speaking of undead. Well, dreary me, my dearest acquaintances. Innkeeper, Dame Carolyn, you both look radiant today. What are we radiating? I shan't say, as it would be too rude. How polite of you. How are you doing, Scully? Just wonderful. Yesterday I had the most delightful tea party with Sir Alphonse and Lady Frostgrip. Alphonse and I were able to learn so much about the times we've missed, thanks to the young blacksmith prodigy. This world truly is an exciting and beautiful one. and by tomorrow the vampire will have forgotten all about it. But that merely means he'll get to remember again. How marvelous! That endless pursuit of learning is a wonder in and of itself. Speaking of learning, if you'll allow me, I'd like to learn how you were doing on this fine day of ours, Dame Carolyn. You do look a little spent, and I would hate to be intruding on your space. Just exhausted by all these people and their constant talking. You're good, though. Ain't your fault. I understand. The social aspects of life can be exhausting as they come with so many rules and obstacles one must traverse. But throughout this overwhelming obstacle course of mortal interactions, we can find many magnificent treasures. And all of them make these efforts worthwhile. Like quests. I was thinking about friends, but quests too. Are you heading out on one? Yeah. What's its cause? An unusual amount of undead creatures are haunting Phesoa lately, especially near the Pale Woods. Carolyn is going to check on that. An undead gathering in the Pale Woods? But why so? Is there a convention, perhaps? No, sounds more like the violent type of crowd. Unfortunate. It does seem that this sentiment is common among my compatriots. Sense and sensibilities are often lost when you are ripped from the afterlife without your soul attached to your body. You don't have a soul? Got a lot of personality for that to be true. That's very kind of you to say, but I'm afraid I'm a mere fragment of my former self. An opportunity to find a new self, then. What a sweet promise. Still, it is strange to have everything you once were forgotten. How can you be forgotten when you're here? We will remember you as you are now, as I'm sure people did for your former self. I hope I shall grow into a pleasant memory then, as well as a pleasant presence. You already are. That makes my non-present soul very happy to hear. Dame Carolyn, would you mind me tagging along on your quest? Sounds like a haven of fascinating research, and I've not been able to indulge in that pastime for a long while. Sure, come along. Skeleton should be great help in wiping out a bunch of undead. Wiping out? By no means should that be our approach. We should study them, or better yet, strike up a civilized conversation. With enough charisma, I'm sure we can remind them of their mortal consciences. Don't be ridiculous, they'll rip us apart. We can simply ask the Innkeeper for some additional defense, in case they need some initial convincing. I could even offer you some frost armor to go along with it. A few frozen pine cones here and there, and you'll have a little more of a buffer if your words don't take hold. Excellent idea. Or we just fatten them. Smash their bones together until they stop moving. No thanks, Gully. None taken. I believe a cleverer approach would be to rely on speed. Unawakened undead are rather slow, so we should embrace this possible advantage. Dexterity, then, and defense. You were right on track with that one. May I suggest adding some of a Morganite lotus flower to this combination? Much like Citron, it will bless your weapon strikes and lend you some of the power of the great dragons. The undead are incredibly vulnerable to holy attacks. Indeed we are. The power of the dragons is a difficult one to harness. I'm impressed by your capabilities, Innkeeper. I think your delight should be aimed towards the magical ingredients. To dilute them in such a way is quite a skill in itself, as is choosing our approach to this. We shall leave this up to her, correct? Yeah, you figure it out, Innkeep. Some additional defense is a given, but what should we focus on, charisma or dexterity? Don't forget those wondrous infusions of yours. I would never. Ooh, so we get to decide what path they take. I'm leaning towards dexterity, just in case they encounter difficulty. Seems like Swift Strike is still the best drink for dexterity. Because a lot of these other drinks specialize in other... Let's see. Definitely gonna use a lotus flower. Dexterity and a little defense. Yeah, I think Swift Strike would work with that. Actually, which, okay. Dexterity and defense. Alright, there we go. Woohoo! I think it'd be hard to reason with creatures that don't have brains. I trust in your fighting skills, Care. I know Scully will make for a great support. Great. Good to see you found some common sense back there. Scully, let's go slay some undead. At your service, madame. Let us indulge in some violence. Enjoy your travelers, your your travels, your conversations, and your battles. Ooh. New quest. Okay, okay. So now, let's see if we can make a quest with Wizard Tower. There. Mission. Magically possible. The Wizard of Morlia, has abandoned his tower on, well, Morlia, a small island near Niverduf in Dalwell. As is custom for a wizard's tower, it's said to be full of alluring treasures. Gold, magic items, forbidden knowledge, and spells. Anything your looting heart desires. But be warned, the wizard is known to have loved puzzles, mischief, and contraptions, so don't forget to check for traps. Ooh. Nice. And another. Let's see. Oh, God. Let's see. Let's see. There? The Parent Trap. The Twilight Flood brought more to Phesoa than just the waters of the primordial sea. In particular, two long-lost air echoes who had faked their own death and abandoned their only child. Now, their kid is out for revenge and longs to have them killed, as the fate of tragic backstories wills it. These renegade parents were last seen in Borkham near the Wan Sea, so any bounty hunters should probably start there. Hopefully it won't actually come to that. Whew. Another day done. I love you, Wandu. I love you, I love you. Ooh. In pursuit of entropy. Ooh. Okay. We will leave that for next time. Thank you so much for joining me again. I love this game so much. Take care, and I hope you have a very comfy night. Bye!